Once upon a time, in a remote Chinese village nestled amidst the rolling hills and paddy fields, lived a poor boy named Chen. Chen's parents were hard-working farmers who toiled day in and day out to provide for their family. However, despite their best efforts, they struggled to make ends meet, and their poverty often made Chen and his sister the targets of ridicule and bullying by the wealthier children in the village. Despite the hardships he faced, Chen was a bright and determined child. He knew that education was his only way out of poverty, and he worked hard to excel in his studies. Every day he woke up before sunrise and studied by the faint light of an oil lamp, his only source of light in the evenings. His dedication and hard work paid off, and he soon became one of the top students in his school. Unfortunately, when Chen was just 16 years old, his father suddenly fell ill and passed away, leaving the family without their main source of income. This was a devastating blow to young Chen, who now had to take on the responsibility of supporting his family. Despite his grief, Chen was determined to honor his father, his memory, and continue working hard to provide for his mother and sister. He took on odd jobs such as farming, construction, and delivering goods, all while continuing to study. It was during this time that Chen faced his greatest challenge yet. His bullies from school, led by a wealthy and influential boy named Zhang, began targeting him relentlessly. They would beat him up, steal his money, and even threaten his family. Chen was outnumbered and outgunned, but he refused to back down. He fought back against his bullies with everything he had, and slowly but surely he began to win their respect. Through it all, Chen never lost sight of his goals. He saved every penny he earned and eventually enrolled in a prestigious university in the city. Away from the familiar surroundings of his village, Chen was determined to make something of himself. He threw himself into his studies and made lifelong friends who supported and encouraged him through the ups and downs of student life. Despite the progress he was making, Chen never forgot where he came from. He sent money back to his mother and sister every month and dreamed of one day returning to his village and making it a better place. After graduating from university, Chen put his knowledge and skills to good use. He started a successful business that provided much-needed services to the local community. Chen's business boomed, and he soon became one of the most successful young entrepreneurs in town. He was known for his integrity, honesty, and commitment to giving back to the community. He built schools, hospitals, and roads in his village and helped to improve the lives of his fellow villagers. All the while, Chen never forgot about the girl he had loved since childhood. Her name was Li, and she had been the only bright spot in his difficult childhood. Although they had grown up together, their family's disapproval had kept them apart. But now that Chen was a successful businessman, he felt that it was finally time to win her hand in marriage. He approached her parents and asked for her hand in marriage, but they rejected him without hesitation. They had always considered Chen to be beneath their daughter, and nothing had changed. Li's mother said to him, "We have already found a rich and powerful husband for our daughter. You are not worthy of her." Chen was heartbroken, but he refused to give up. He knew that he had to prove himself to lead his family if he ever wanted to marry her. Determined to succeed, Chen worked harder than ever before. He expanded his business empire and became a household name throughout China. His success caught the attention of the media, and he was featured in numerous magazines and newspapers. He became a role model for other young entrepreneurs and was invited to speak at conferences and events all over the country. Years went by and Chen's success continued to grow. He became so influential that even Li's father, who had always looked down on him, now sought him out for business advice. Finally, Chen had become the man that Li's family had wanted him to be. He went back to them and asked for Li's hand in marriage once again. This time, they couldn't refuse him. Li's father was overjoyed to have such a successful man in the family and quickly agreed to the marriage. The wedding was a lavish affair with hundreds of guests in attendance. Chen and Li were finally man and wife, and they danced the night away with their friends and family. In the years that followed, Chen and Li's love for each other grew stronger. They had 2 beautiful children and lived in a luxurious mansion in the city. But despite all the luxuries and comforts that money could buy, Chen never forgot the struggles he had endured in his life. He remained humble and grateful for everything he had achieved. He continued to give back to the community and was a generous donor to charities and foundations that helped underprivileged children. He also returned to his village often and was a beloved figure among the villagers. As Chen looked back on his life, he knew that he had come a long way from the poor and bullied boy he once was. He had faced countless challenges and obstacles, but he had never given up on his dreams. He had worked hard, stayed focused, and never lost sight of his goals. He knew that his success was not just about money or fame, but about proving to himself and others that no matter how difficult your beginnings may be, anything is possible with hard work and determination. Chen's story is an inspiration to all of us. It reminds us that no matter how tough things may seem, we should never give up on our dreams. With hard work, determination, and a positive attitude, we can overcome any obstacle and achieve anything we set our minds to. So next time you face a challenge or feel like giving up, remember the story of the boy who became a successful businessman and let it inspire you to keep going. After a few years, Chen decided to go back to his village to check up on his mother. As he drove down the dirt road leading to their house, he couldn't help but reminisce about the old times. He remembered how tough life had been for him, growing up in poverty and being bullied by the other kids. But he had never let those hardships define him. Instead, he had used them as fuel to push him forward and achieve his dreams. As he approached their house, he saw that it had been painted and repaired since he had last seen it. A sense of pride filled him as he realized that his hard work had paid off not just for him, but for his entire family. He walked inside and found his mother sitting in a rocking chair by the window. Time had not been kind to her, and she had aged significantly since he had last seen her. But her eyes still held the same warmth and love that he remembered. "Mom," he said softly, walking towards her and kneeling down. "I'm sorry it's taken me so long to come visit you. I've been busy with work, but I wanted to make sure that I could give you everything you needed." His mother smiled and reached out to touch his face. "It's all right, son. I know you've worked hard to build your business. I'm just glad that you're happy and successful." The two of them sat in silence for a moment, each lost in thought. Chen couldn't help but feel a sense of gratitude for everything his mother had done for him. She had sacrificed so much to give him and his sister the best possible life, and he knew that none of his success would have been possible without her. Suddenly, his mother spoke up. "Chen, there's something I need to tell you." She hesitated for a moment as if unsure how to begin. "What is it, Mom?" Chen asked, concerned. His mother took a deep breath and said, Your sister hasn't been well lately. The doctors say she needs to move to the city for treatment, but it's expensive and I don't have enough money." Chen's heart sank. He hadn't seen his sister in years, and he had no idea she was sick. "How is she? Where is she now?" he asked quickly. "She's staying with some relatives in the next village. I'll take you to see her tomorrow." That night, Chen couldn't sleep. He kept replaying his mother's words in his head and worrying about his sister. He knew he had to do something to help her, but he wasn't sure what. The next morning, Chen got up early and went to see his sister. When he arrived at the house where she was staying, he found her lying in a bed in the corner. She looked frail and weak, and Chen felt a surge of protectiveness towards her. "Don't worry, sis," he said softly, taking her hand. "I won't let anything bad happen to you." Chen spent the day with his sister, talking to her about his life in the city and listening to her dreams and hopes for the future. He knew that he couldn't fix everything, but he wanted her to know that she wasn't alone. As the sun began to set, Chen and his mother left the house and walked towards his car. "You're staying here tonight, right, Mom?" he asked. "No, I want to go home," she replied. "I haven't been there in years." Chen smiled. He knew his mother must be feeling overwhelmed and scared. Living in a big city like Shanghai was a daunting task for someone who had spent their whole life in a small village, but Chen was determined to make it easier for her. "You stay with me for now. I have a guest room in my house," Chen said. "But how about your sister?" she asked. "I'll arrange for her to stay in a hospital nearby. The doctors there will take good care of her." His mother nodded, but tears welled up in her eyes. "Don't cry, Mom. Everything's going to be okay," Chen said, hugging her tightly. That night, Chen drove his mother to his house in the city. It was a big change for her, but Chen was there to help her settle in and make her feel comfortable. He knew that it wouldn't be easy for her, but he was determined to make it work. Over the next few weeks, Chen visited his sister in the hospital every day. He brought her flowers and talked to her about his childhood memories. He knew that she was scared and confused, but he was there to comfort her and let her know that she was loved. With Chen's support, his mother was able to adjust to life in the city. She was amazed by the tall buildings and bustling streets, but she was also a little overwhelmed by the noise and crowds. Chen was patient and understanding, and he helped her navigate the city and get used to the fast-paced lifestyle. One day, Chen was visiting his sister when he noticed a group of doctors gathered around her bed. They were smiling and whispering to each other, and Chen couldn't help but feel a sense of unease. "Doctor, how's my sister?" he asked, rushing towards them. "Good news, Mr. Chen," one of the doctors said, beaming at him. "Your sister is making a remarkable recovery. In fact, she'll be able to return home in a few weeks." Chen was overjoyed. He couldn't believe that his sister was going to make a full recovery. He thanked the doctors profusely and rushed to call his mother and share the good news. As the days went by, Chen's sister grew stronger and was eventually able to return home. Chen was so happy to see her healthy and smiling again. He knew that his decision to bring her to the city and get her treatment had been the right thing to do. From that day on, Chen's life was filled with happiness and gratitude. He had his loving mother, his supportive sister, and a successful business. He had come a long way from the bullied and impoverished boy he once was. And he knew that his journey was a testament to the power of hard work, determination, and family love.